welcome to InoKinetic. Thank you guys for watching. We have got one of my good friends from Xclusive Tuning here joining us after a couple of days of tuning and working here in sunny Southern California.
Beautiful here.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for coming, Brent.
We're staying at the winery. It's been amazing. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Well, you brought your wife this time.
Yep.
So finally.
Wife came down. Finally, she's having a spa day hanging out at the pool, and I'm hanging in the garage, all hot, sweaty.
Nice.
Working on the car. She deserves it. She's the best.
So tell the Lotus community a bit about yourself and your love for cars and tuning.
Well, I got started probably 9 years ago now. Looks like we've been working together for about 9 years. And
yeah, I think it's been 9 years, man. Yeah. Nearly 10 years. You came out, I remember, when we were in our other location in Murrieta.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time, and then you came to our Temecula location as well.
Yeah, the 2 times, and then 9 years. It's been a journey, that's for sure.
Well, tell us a bit about yourself as far as your love for cars, tuning, that sort of thing.
I got started probably, I'm guessing, back in 2006, 2007.
Okay.
Well, we're from Ottawa, Canada, and at the time we didn't have the Lancer Evolution, so I bought a car just to get to and from work. It was a 2005 Lancer Rally Art, little 2.4 liter naturally aspirated thing, and then I made one mistake of changing. I put a wing on it, and then there was tires, wheels, suspension.
Slippery slope.
Yeah, at the time we had a piggyback on the car, and then when it's just like, there's always the one word, more. It's a dangerous word in this industry, and so the only way to get anything more out of it, we're building a custom turbo kit for it.
Those Mitsubishis are pretty fun.
They were fun. It was.
I had an Evo, and I could tell you a funny story about 2 car seats in the back, embarrassing a few Ferraris and Lamborghinis in the canyons.
Yeah. Well,
amazing cars.
One of the first episodes I've ever seen of Top Gear. They're running an Evo 8, I think it was, up against the Lamborghini Murcielago.
Sure.
And the Lambo did not lose that Evo.
Yeah.
It was right on its tail.
Yep. Yeah. Well, listen, let's talk about Lotus tuning, because that's something that we've been now doing together for a while. 9 years. And so, tell the community about what's involved. What are the general parameters that, you are able to adjust and manipulate to make work?
Well, when we first got started way back, 9 years ago, there wasn't really much to do. But over the 9 years, with the help of some software engineers, they've been able to find more maps, do more reverse engineering on it, and give guys like me the opportunity to do more with these cars.
Sure.
Without them, they're the real geniuses and the real heroes in this. Without them, I can't do anything.
Yeah, and I remember, before we worked with Steve Carlson quite a bit.
And Steve helped me out quite a bit too.
Yeah, and so it's really amazing when you look at these Lotus ECUs. Though they come from EFI Technologies, like an Italian company, the software is all proprietary to Lotus, right? Yeah, and so Lotus developed the software, and as you could expect, nothing is labeled, right?
No, definitely not.
So, I remember with some of the people that we've worked with in the past, Charlie Wallace, obviously Steve Carlson for sure, just the looking at the patterns in these maps, right? These matrices, and being able to look at certain common, kind of patterns, if you will, to identify, that's a fueling map, right? And so,
well, thanks to those guys, they're the pioneers. They help guys like me just kind of take off where they've left off, basically.
Sure. Well, we always talk about tuning these cars, and we've always kind of focused on things like drivability, right?
Yeah, that's the key.
Safety and reliability.
Absolutely.
Tell us a bit about that. Like, how do you ensure those type of things, in your tunes that you're developing for us?
Well, drivability is pretty apparent when you get in the car and you hit the gas pedal, the throttle. It just feels completely different. OEM spends a ton of time in engineering, developing certain curves, and we just try and take that and enhance it just a little bit.
Sure.
It doesn't take much.
Right.
Just a little bit more, and you drove the car today after the dyno session, and it's definitely more responsive. It definitely feels a lot better, but it still maintains the OEM drivability.
As well as you keep in some of the safety protocols that the OEMs
we don't touch them.
Have kept in place.
Yeah, we don't touch them. If there's any limiters in there, don't touch them. Leave them alone.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's when you start running into problems, and you start messing around with upping knock sensors or deleting them completely. That's just absolutely dangerous, and frankly, let's be honest, it's stupid.
Sure,
it's very, very dangerous because now the car does not. You take the ability away for the car to save itself.
Sure.
From bad fuel or a number of things.
Right. Yeah. Right. Now we've been developing these tunes for track use only. Obviously, that goes almost without saying. But having said that, on this Katana 3, which we've been working on now for over a year, we are hoping to achieve CARB certification here in California, right? Yeah. And so that would be, we attempted this in the past, actually with Steve Carlson with a Katana 2. Yeah. And after about $15,000 of testing, we kind of realized we didn't have as much control over the ECU as we needed. Right. We came very, very close then. So now it feels like we're getting closer still.
We'll see.
Yeah. So I mean, based on how the car is running, I think every calibrator I've ever talked to always says a car that's properly calibrated, to perform properly, will also be clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so we're shooting for that for sure. Right. I think the Katana 3 development that the additional tuning that you did this time, tell us a bit about that. What were some of the big fundamental changes this time versus previously?
Well, on this particular dyno session, we were trying out a different injector for sure.
Right. It's more some new injectors. I remember you called me like, Shinoo, you got to check out these injectors. You were so stoked about that.
Oh yeah. Just because if we can find factory style injectors or anything that has the same characteristics, then the ECU itself is going to adapt to them a lot better. And it leaves, lazy on my part. I don't have to do as much dialing in, and it honestly just makes my job a lot easier. And I think we found that based on today's results.
Yeah, which were pretty amazing.
Well, obviously we'll talk about that for sure. But it just helps. It helps the entire process for me just to dial it in a lot quicker and a lot easier. It helps with OEM drivability for sure. I don't know. It's basically just the ECU adapts to it better, and it just makes my job a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, I think the proof is in the pudding, right? And the dyno numbers don't lie, right? So the Katana 3 that was on our last Outlaw was putting down about 204 at the wheels. Horsepower,
with the old injectors.
With the old injectors, right? Yeah. So the new injectors, you started at 211.
Yeah. We did some tuning on it. Well, yesterday. Yeah, and it felt definitely different than the Outlaw for sure. But again, it feels one thing, dyno's another, right?
Exactly.
And then we took it to the dyno today, and so dyno today, the first run we did was at 211.
Correct.
And then after it was all said and done,
we got to 233.
233.
Yeah, amazing. When you look at Katana 2, which we sold for years, was at 215 at the wheels. Right. And now we're getting to 233. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. Now, dear viewer, I'm not promising 233 and the production kit, but we're in that range. Yeah.
As I always
certainly 215 to 220 is certainly going to be a number that we should be able to hit.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, dynos, they're a great measuring tool for sure to tell me what I'm doing as far as calibrating goes, that I'm doing the right thing. Yeah. If I'm, it would go in the opposite direction if I was doing something, that the computer didn't like or the engine didn't like. Yeah. So basically, what I take away from dynos is really simple. This is a tool to tell me what I'm doing properly, and this is the results we got on this day, on this vehicle, on that dyno, under these conditions. Right. That's just general, obviously, but we can get into a lot more specifics, but that's just a general overview of it.
Well, the good news is when you get in the car and drive it like I did after you were done with it, I was blown away. It was just
good
whoa, this car is amazing, right? We just did this test drive, 111 RS test drive this past Saturday with a bunch of clients. We had 10 people, driving the car.
Too bad they couldn't drive it now.
Oh yeah, this is a pretty amazing difference. Big difference.
I also noticed too when I drove it, whatever you guys were, you did some stuff with the suspension and the I can't remember exactly what you told me was going on with it, but oh yeah, you just drive it around the city.
Yeah.
You notice a huge difference in the handling, and it's just the way it responds.
The car is amazing.
Absolutely.
The car is amazing.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, no, thank you, Brent. I'm super stoked about this. So we're going to put some more miles on it, you know, see how it settles in, see how it performs, and then we will probably put it back on the dyno in a bit, you know, and just run it again just to kind of confirm and see how we're doing. There's
another thing, too, when it comes down to these ECUs, and this is why it's very important to do our due diligence on this. Again, we got these numbers, we got whatever it is, and now it's going to go through an adaptability phase, adaptation phase, and once it all settles down, run it on the street again, we'll get some more data from it, and then, because I still think that the lambda, the air-fuel ratio is going to get probably a little richer based on what I did on the dyno. It just didn't show because we didn't have the time.
Sure.
It's that simple. So we'll get some more logs from the AIM Dash, which is an amazing product, by the way. Not just, you see the little AFR right up in the corner, and and then you can actually data log it, extract that data and that log directly from the dash onto the laptop, Wi-Fi. And then you can see the curve, and right there at exactly the RPM, exactly the load range, and exactly what the rate, and then I can go right to the computer and make those changes. Yeah. Well, what's key here now is that stuff geeks me out. I know, but what's exciting now, like once we start feeling, okay, we're there. The next step is to get back to SEMA Garage. You came out last year. We went and visited their emissions laboratory. That was amazing, wasn't it? Oh, the toys they have. Yeah. It's just phenomenal. The lab is amazing. Absolutely. And they have a solid team, right? To support us to get us through this. Yeah, it's very helpful. You know, they can't give away secrets, obviously, and they didn't. They held, I pried, but they didn't let me. Now, of course, I got to try, right? We're pretty excited about that process, and we're going to give it a shot. We're going to give it another shot and see if we've got a kit that's clean enough to be carb legal. That would be a real feather in our caps. That would be pretty cool, right? No one has been able to achieve that in our community, so it would be really, really great. I'm hoping I can pull it off. We're gonna give it a shot, right? I'll do my best, absolutely. Yeah. Let's switch gears. The new Emira. What do you think about it? They had the V6 version up at Polymer Mountain. Yeah. It's during the hill climb. That's right. You were here for that. I forgot. Oh, that's when you were here. West Coast Lotus Meet. Yes. Yep. Absolutely. It's big guy friendly. That I like. Okay. Because these Elises and Exeges, they're not cool if you're my size. I'm 5'10", 250 pounds. Not flexible. It's a comedy act watching me getting in and out of that thing. It's not. But the Emira, it was. Let's call it what it is. It's a sexy looking car. It is. It is. It looks sharp. I spent a couple of days driving the car properly in Michigan. Oh, right. Yeah, Europe. I had event out with Auto Europe, Lotus of Detroit, and they had a car, and they tossed me the keys and let me go drive the thing. Oh wow. It's a good car. It's a really fun car. I would argue that performance is very similar to the Evora. Yeah. But from a daily driver perspective and the modern technology, it's certainly much better. A lot more refined. Much more refined. Interior I like better. Oh yeah. So interior, again, it's a cool car, right? So V6 engine, which is what's in the Evora, which we've been tuning. All the iterations. From the GT to the 400 to the S and the standard cars, right? And so the Emira will get the same engine, so it'll be interesting to see, what we can do there with that. But I think the engine that you're super excited about, and so am I, is that AMG motor that's supposed to come into the car. Yes, absolutely. So tell me about if the rumors are true. They're using the AMG 45 engine. That's I think with the horsepower specs on it was, I think the Mercedes one was 360 and the Lotus was 340-ish. Okay. There's a slight bit of a detune. Again, we'll get more information as it comes out. But if they're using the same computer and the same electronics, which I can't see Mercedes saying, here's an engine, build your own electronics. It's just, I don't think that's how Mercedes works. It's all going to be... Yeah, I think Bosch. It's going to be a Bosch, right? And it wouldn't surprise me, if that isn't an absolute requirement. Yes, you can have our engine, but you have to have
our controller and our control strategies.
Yeah.
And
well, that makes
so
perfect sense.
Yeah. But the good news is
those engines are strong motors because we've tuned a handful, well, I should say a handful, tuned a pile of them all around in Canada, US, and even over in Europe too, for that matter.
Okay.
We've gotten average to the wheels-ish. Again, you were looking at about 40 horsepower and about 60 torque. That's on the high-end version to it. Like there was different horsepower versions. Lower horsepower versions obviously get more on paper, but at the end of the day, they kind of end up being roughly about the same.
Sure.
So if Mercedes is detuning for the Lotus, we can probably, with any luck, get that back and then gain on top of that. And that's where I think at the end of the day, don't quote me on this, we're speculating, that we should be able to surpass the power of the V6.
Yeah,
that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, the rumor is that the whole package will be lighter as well.
Yeah.
Right, and so the rumor mill is suggesting that that's the car to have for the real enthusiasts.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, having said that, a manual transmission, that V6 sounds so fantastic.
Oh, it does.
It's hard to argue with that. But
absolutely.
Let's see what this AMG motor is going to be like.
With a decent exhaust system and muffler, I've heard these AMG 4-cylinder engines, and they sound pretty good too.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
It's that turbo, right?
Yeah.
And again, the turbos are upgradable, so
it's amazing. All the direct injection turbos, how much power can be had, right? No question about it. So
we deal with a good guy out of Tampa, Florida, that builds hybrid turbos, and look out.
Okay.
It's going to be fun.
Well, it'll be coming soon
Lotus,
enough.
hurry up.
My understanding is we're a couple years away from this, but
hurry up.
Anyways, we'll see. It'll be here soon enough.
Yeah,
so, Brent, thank you for being here. Thank you for your hard work.
Anytime.
Man, I'm so excited about what you've done to this car. It's amazing.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I don't like to, whatever, but it was a lot of fun for sure.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.